The fantasy news must flow. Did you just put your coffee while...
Welcome everybody to another episode of Fantasy News. I am your disheveled goblin host, Daniel Green, and today we have a beautiful little smorgasbord of news to get through. I can go ahead and tell you exactly what videos you're going to be getting for the rest of the day from me because I've already recorded them, and that's going to be a Please Dear God Don't Be a Bomb, followed up by the What Are I Dying Ajas? And then we're going to finish off the week, of course, with my review of The Wheel of Time. That one hasn't been recorded yet, but I will be working on Thursday.
Daniel, why are you taking a vacation? What gives you the right?
Well, I just moved in with my girlfriend. She's right there. See, she's real! So I'm taking off this week to just enjoy time with her, aside from fantasy news and the Wheel of Time episode. And we might stream on Twitch. It depends if we're in the mood or not. Follow me on Twitch and, hang out with us. She's real, I promise! But we're gonna go ahead and kick off this episode of Fantasy News with a cover reveal from John Gwynn, and
Oh my god!
this is an outstanding cover with a big old pupper on it. The reactions I've seen to this cover go along either this is the most badass looking thing of 2021 or poopy. The Hunger of the Gods will be released April 12th, 2022, and I am so excited to go ahead and give it a read. Shadow of the Gods was awesome. So this is one of my most anticipated releases of the upcoming continuing time of COVID. And for those of you who are looking for books to read in 2022 that may have come out in 2021, Tor.com just released their lists and recommendations for the recommended reads of the sci-fi fantasy genres. So, they're already out, so they're a little old, but you can read them in 2022 and just pretend like they're new releases, because we all have imaginations. I don't. And then finally, before we get to today's sponsor, I want to go ahead and mention the fact that for the Red Rising community, we just got another set of covers released. Coming to us from Nerd Inc., we had these almost Soviet propaganda style Red Rising covers. Very fitting, and I think I still prefer the Juniper ones, but if you like this aesthetic and not have a certain kind of shelf, these could be very cool to have. If I was going to do a poster for Red Rising, like buy an actual thing for my wall, this would be the one I'd choose. But for overall pretty on the shelf, Juniper still takes it for me. But today's video is brought to you by Magic Spoon. Okay, I just got done with my surgery. Unfortunately, I can avoid going shopping for a minute because I just got sent a bunch of cereal from Magic Spoon. Let's see how it is. Okay, we got all the classic cereal flavors: fruity, frosted, chocolate, and peanut butter. America. Okay, I'm decided to start with the frosted because to me, frosted is like the quintessential breakfast flavor. Are you ready for that ASMR? Cereal first. If you're one of those milk first people, I hate you. I'm a very big believer that for cereal to pass the taste test, it has to pass both the dry and wet taste test, so let's go for dry. It's a very mild flavor. Like, I could eat a lot of that. Now it is time for the wet taste test in the most flattering angle possible. No way. That actually has 0 grams of sugar? Are you kidding me? I don't know what you're using to sweeten this stuff, but it's good. Okay, yeah, this gets the seal of approval. That's some pretty good healthy cereal. Hot damn, I am satisfied. And more importantly, Pips is satisfied. And be sure to go to magicspoon.com/goblin for $5 off your order. If you don't do that, it doesn't look good for me. So please do that. I'd appreciate it. Bye. I have sad news for the fans of the Cowboy live action adaptation. It has been canceled after 1 season. And, despite maybe this not being the best adaptation, it's always sad for me to see a project officially fail. And I hope the actors, had fun doing what they did do. And I have seen some Cowboy Bebop fans that did actually enjoy this show for what it was. So, I'm sorry for the people who did enjoy it. And for those who are celebrating the fact that it's canceled, I can't personally get on that train for any adaptation because I know there are people who wanted it to be something maybe it didn't turn out to, and it's just always a Another one bites the dust. And it seems we may have already gotten our resolution to the Toei Totally Not Mark One Piece debacle. Now, I personally have decided not to cover Toei content as a response to this, but it seems even Totally Not Mark himself is deciding to end his personal boycott and just stop this fight. This comes after a couple of updates where it seems Totally Not Mark was largely ignored, aside from facing some backlash from fans and getting a few of his videos reapproved despite lack of inconsistency of which videos were. Personally, I am left a bit conflicted. I am still very angry with this company, but I feel like my anger was a bit misdirected in my initial reaction. Yes, there's always going to be companies who abuse this system. There's nothing we can really do about it. You just get mad at the company while it's happening. The bigger problem is with YouTube, and I hope to God they are working on something that will actually benefit and equally represent creators and corporations on the same level when it comes to these disputes. I know it seems instinctual for the giant corporation to want to set up a system where it benefits other giant corporations to make them happy to work with them. But like, you know, we are how you make money, and YouTube has made a lot of very unpopular decisions. I want to see YouTube thrive and continue to grow because it's where I make my money, but it seems like with how the YouTube audience is often quickly turning against the platform itself, they might be setting themselves up for some type of future adpocalypse. And hey, I don't fucking want that. I like the money. She does too. It's all, I have a family now. It's both of money. I want to reiterate, while I am doing this boycott as, you know, a symbolic gesture in support of creators like Mark who are screwed over, it is also for selfish reasons where we've seen Toei make fraudulent copyright claims, and so it leads me to go, hey, there's a good chance I might be struck for my work and not get paid because we've seen them take down work that's not their own. So if I'm just using manga panels, I could be hit by this animation company and lose a huge amount of money for, you know, if they start to just go through my whole library and wipe out my One Piece content. So yes, this boycott was in support of Mark, but it is also, I'm very willing to admit, for selfish reasons of I want to get paid for my labor. We also got the new trailer for the upcoming Fantastic Beasts third movie titled Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore. Wait, is this the third movie or is it the fourth movie?
I think it's his third.
Third. Cool. We're probably both wrong. This trailer looked fine. I had no interest in the Fantastic Beasts series, and it goes beyond my general disliking for a lot of the choices for this franchise and image for it problems as well. This story itself has just not felt very cohesive or interesting to me, and the characters have not been realized. So yeah, I had the reaction of like, okay, next. But in the news of something I'm actually very excited for, we got an update for the Witcher show where we got to see a little look into Ciri's training. It's not like a trailer, it's just a clip from the show, and it seems to be pretty accurate of the books. Personally, this seems to be a video game adaptation to me, more so than a book adaptation. Like, this stuff's also in the books. There's just something about this show that feels way more inspired by CD Projekt Red's interpretation than necessarily the original books themselves. And I don't mean that as a criticism, because I'm more excited for season 2 than I was season 1, despite having my criticisms of season 1. It's just like, you know, this is the game. And we had another cinematic drop for the long-awaited, highly anticipated Elden Ring. And it's just, yeah, another look at the game we've all been hearing and talking about for so long. Just give it already! And we're gonna follow up that Elden Ring news with a look into the Expanse adaptation into a Telltale series. I'm a fan of some Telltale games, and the Expanse definitely is on my top sci-fi series of all time list, so I am thrilled to see that there's going to be this meeting of franchises. Though I, for some reason, also am just going, this won't be as good as your gut tells you. And I don't know why, but it just, I'm filled with that feeling of like, and I don't know why, I just have that, and I can't shake it. I'm here to be honest and real with you. That's my honest take. But we're gonna go ahead and end this episode of Fantasy News with the fact that we had our first look into the Halo TV show over at Paramount Plus. And I am willing to bet money that this Halo show will be in the top pirated shows of all time. I am not complaining about being in this era of streaming, but it is impossible for everyone to sign up to all these different services, and Paramount Plus falls into that oh so special category of I know nobody that has a subscription to it. Not thinking it's very popular, and on top of that, this Halo show is highly anticipated. So what you're going to end up with is a franchise that's largely steeped in the gaming, in those circles community that maybe have a slight leaning towards the Venn diagram of pirating community. Not making any accusations, and that will damage the hell out of the potential of the show continuing. This is just my thoughts. I'm not saying this is for sure factual, but it's my predictions, and I'd be willing to bet Kayla on it. We just made aggressive eye contact. All that being said though, this first look was better looking than where my expectations were set for this show, so now I'm a bit more excited than I was, and I will be legally watching it because I'll request a review copy. Privileges of having a platform. But I want to ask you, the audience, a question with this last story, and that's going to be, what show are you most looking forward to in the flood of sci-fi fantasy shows we are getting? Because it seems, yes, we are in this golden age of fantasy post Game of Thrones adaptation where everyone's trying to get their own, adapted franchise, but it seems to be so heavily leaning towards adaptations now with Murderbot, Greenbone Saga, a live-action Avatar, so many things coming down the road. What are you most looking forward to? Like, what show is piquing your percolating interest? Because I may do a video on that in the future. But anyway, everyone, like and subscribe if you have not already. Hit the Patreon if you want to support what I do here. Check out my books, Rebels Creed and Breach of Peace, in the links down below. And if you would like to see a story covered in fantasy news that I've not gotten to, go ahead and join the Discord server and post it there. You want to say goodbye?
Bye, everyone.
She's holding me hostage. And of course, I'd like to record a special shout out to my latest high tier patrons, Jack Silver and Sarah P.